Quick demo on this guy. You guys should be able to see me in there. I'm red, orange, and yellow. Everything around me is blue and black. So there are two little dots moving around, a red one and a blue one. Those are our hottest spot in the camera and the coldest spot in the camera. We are literally looking for cold spots to move on their own with this guy. So the blue and the black are the cold spots. Obviously, I'm not the ghost, right? It's not going to be in reverse. So red, orange, and yellow are going to be our warmer spots, and then blue and black are going to be the colder spots. If something starts to move or take shape on its own, obviously you're going to let me know. But we're going to stop this video about halfway through, give it 5 minutes, and restart it. The software sucks. They've updated it, and it's absolutely horrible. It was perfectly fine 3 months ago, no longer. So now I have to split the video and splice it for y'all so you have one video to watch. You will keep this guy horizontal, just like this, all night long, but so you can watch it, of course. And then you want to try to definitely keep the camera on your left. I made it right-handed so you can actually see more.
Oh, okay.
The red square means it's recording. When I tell you to stop the video, you'll hit the square, make it a circle. We'll wait a few minutes and start it back up again.
Okay.
You got this. And I think your finger is right over the lens. There you go. Perfect. Everybody does it. I always double check. Let's see. Let's get into spirit boxes, because I have 3 of them, 3 groups, everybody gets one. They all do something different. Every one of you is going to have a different type of tool, just so you guys know. So with this one in particular, this one is going to, who does not understand what a spirit box is? It's okay if you don't. Perfect. So spirit boxes is going to sweep through an FM radio station very quickly, all of them. It's going to just keep rotating all night long. It's the white noise you guys hear on your TV shows, and then Zach Bagans tells you the crappy things he heard in the middle of it. Yeah, we're going to be doing that in real time. Mine are set up different. The reason why they're set up different is because your ears aren't trained for this. So I want the radio chatter to come through. That's what you're listening for. Song lyrics, DJs, commercials. That's what we want. So again, with that said, this one records the entire session, no background noise. It doesn't know what we're saying. And even when I have this thing on mute, it will stay at one even level volume for you guys tomorrow morning when I give you back the recording. So if we miss stuff in real time on this guy, it's perfectly fine. I'm going to go through it, give you about 15 to 20 audio markers of things that I found, whether they're relevant or not. It's a 50-50 shot that I can relate it to the building we're at, a person I'm talking about in history, or even something going on with Owen. So just want to make sure he's paying attention. So it's already recording right now, so it's already started. So hopefully it's giving us terms that are related to the building I'm going to tell you about here shortly. But Evan, I think I'm going to go with you on this guy. You have one button to worry about. There's a wheel at the top. Okay, you control the volume, so obviously there are going to be certain places where I say, let's go ahead and turn it down a little bit, or go ahead and crank it up. I'll say spirit box is up, and that's for all 3 groups, so everybody knows when to turn this up. The next spirit box does the exact same thing that Evans does, only it does not record. So I normally give this to 2 people when I have my groups of 10, only because I would like 2 people to be able to verify. You guys have a larger family. Oh, and this one's going to you, buddy. All right. So with yours, the only thing you have to worry about is the side of the ball speaker, the right side. There's a volume button. You hold it up gently to get some volume, and then you'll hold it down, obviously, when I'm talking to the whole group.
Okay.
It's already sweeping at the rate that we need it to. So, and last but not least, this spirit box is very unique, only because this one doesn't make any noise. This is my first go-to because it will actually give us a specific word list. It will give us a word in the center of the screen from time to time, and then it will save all those terms to a list. Yes, this is an app for a regular cell phone. Last tour I did, they had 72 terms. I'm going to clear them out. They already have their list. 80% of what comes up on this thing doesn't mean anything. It's meant to be a game and a hoax. We're after the 5 to 20%. When we do find something, out of that 5 to 20%, I will explain why it's relevant to the location and give you the backlink to verify my story. So that way, again, I'm not trying to make stuff up for you guys. Then at times I'm going to say, where are we at with the list? The only thing you'll need to worry about is the little scroll right here. It'll bring up the list. You can scroll through it. The only other button you need is right there. Perfect. Let's see here. What do we want to go into? This is the neuralizer for Men in Black. None of you are going to remember anything when we're done. Lasers. Oh, we're going to have to change the batteries on this one, so I can already see it fading. This one goes through batteries like crazy. Cool thing about this guy, why do we use lasers? No offense, guys, but it doesn't go to kids. So, lasers get Nick in a lot of trouble. We start flashing this guy in the wrong way, somebody's going to die. So, and then Nick's going to get arrested. You can see the pen, you can see the dots. You can't see the lasers until something passes through it. We're literally going to be shooting pictures through these lasers hundreds and hundreds of times. I want hundreds of pictures out of these guys. So the next one we use is actual red grids. Same principle, only when I capture something here in the picture, it goes inside 3D software. That way I can give you a full 3D view of what we have along with measurements. So is this an in-the-moment type mentality? No, we're probably not going to see something passing by. But we're looking for that quick moment that something does pass by and the picture is caught, and you guys get all of the pictures back tomorrow morning. This is the only piece of evidence that I actually go through every single bit of it. Everything else is just a skim and a spot check. So these are going to go to you, my friend. All right. Only because I think you'll be hysterical with them. This is something else that's not go to teenagers because they have no idea what the hell it is. So, digital camera. Ryan, shoot one of your lasers down for me. This
okay, am I going the right way with this?
He's always
we'll
shooting
find out.
Right.
So there's a little button on the side of the pen. There you go.
Yep.
So when you shoot one down,
oh, I gotta hold it.
You gotta hold that one. The other one has a toggle switch. Perfect. So Kristen, you're literally gonna be taking pictures through the lasers. I know what they look like down. We want to go through. So literally hundreds of pictures. Just keep, and nice and still because there is no flash for no false positives. So you two are gonna be a team. Ryan, I will change your batteries out at the first location.
Sounds good. Now, how do I switch over to the other? To the red?
So the red is in the other
This
device.
Okay.
So that one has a toggle switch at the bottom, like on the side of it.
Yep.
So just make sure you're pointed down. All right. EMF detectors are an absolute must when we're going ghost hunting, of course. So you guys have seen these on TV. This one is the most simplest one because it's the most sensitive one. It will give off electronic devices. We'll make it go into a rhythm or a pulse. We do not want rhythms or pulses. We want this thing to go crazy. So when it goes a little bit nuts, we need to know. So Katie, doesn't make any noise, doesn't vibrate, you have to watch it.
Okay.
Millimeter. Millimeters are pretty complicated. So Michaela, are you up for this? She's like, yeah, whatever, give me what you got. So, in the event Megan finds something on her camera, the bottom number will give us ambient temperature. We can prove it or debunk it pretty quickly. The top number is the same as Katie's device. It's an EMF meter. Anything above 2.5, we're going to get excited about. We're still going to try to debunk it. The last thing that it does is it's a millimeter. It's going to go a little nuts for a second. Perfect. So when something gets close to that antenna, it's going to go off. Notice I'm not touching the antenna. The closer it gets, the higher of a pitch we're going to get. I point it down because it is very bright. So we don't use this all the time, so we'll shut it off for now. You kind of have the same cue as the other two spirit boxes. I'll say spirit box is down or spirit box is up. That's when I'll show you more about the millimeter. So just leave that little flap open in the back so I can show you more about it. Dan, did you think I forgot you? Cool. All right, guys, let's roll. No, I'm kidding. You get the brand new device.
I gotta say, when you said spirit box, but I thought you maybe some kind of spirit otherwise. In a glass.
Like a spirit. It's not a flask. No.
You can see if someone gets
You
mad.
get the brand new device.
Yeah, he'll get turned red.
We're still experimenting with this guy. Yeah. Cool. It's a little gizmo gadget we put together. So, you guys should not be able to see me in that, I know, very small camera. It should be pretty dark in there. So we're going to go ahead and turn on some lights. Notice you cannot see the light with your own eyes. This is full spectrum lighting. So I should be in a pinkish purplish hue. So we are going to be using this as a viewfinder and then record at 2 different locations. This only gives us about an hour worth of video, so we're going to save it. I'll kind of give you the point of when we're going to go for it. There is a button right here for short range lighting. You can see the 2 red dots right here. There's a little button right on top of it. You can shut it on and off when people are too close because it will bleach it out. You're going to leave your long range on all night long. The other button, just so you know, gives us night vision. I don't care about night vision. I'm after ghosts that are coming out of the darkness. So I know that you can see me right now, but I'm literally looking for stuff up here in the dark that is not supposed to be reflecting light. So right here where the red light is, that's your record button. After our second stop, I'll say, hey, let's get that thing going. That's where you're going to capture the guy, and you're going to get some video.
It's like that. It's like it's got powers right there.
Game face.
Because of the water box. So you guys can make fun of me all night, do have a blast, but that's kind of the gist of it.
Okay.
All right. Everybody's got a tool and a device, yes?
I have a question.
Yes.
How do I raise the volume for this one again?
So you kind of have it upside down.
Okay.
This is the screen up here, so think of it volume up. It's a nice gentle hold.
Oh, I see. I see.
and gentle hold down. It's not a push in and down.
Right.
All right, so we start here for a reason. Thanks for making my bag lighter. It makes my job a whole lot easier. So the building behind me, it's a big red building anyway, they just painted it back to the original color of a place called Big John's. I'm excited because that was actually a good watering hole for some of the tour guides down here. Not that I drink, because I can't, but it was a good place for everybody else to go. So Big John was a football player for the 1947 New York Giants. This was his bar back in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. That's it, guys. No, I'm kidding. So I was waiting for a kind of a response, but anyway, he used to sit in the back of the bar, and he would tell the bartender if the cadets coming over from the Citadel if they were old enough to drink or not. One night, 2 guys come over, they're not old enough to drink. He has the bartender throw them out. Now, they get mad, of course, then they come back the next night, and they try to steal the cash register from the front of the bar. Why they left cash registers at the front of the bar back in the 70s, I have no idea. But anyway, John sees what's going on. He starts pounding these guys into the floor. Like, he's just beating the hell out of them. A couple of shots go off, and John gets hit in the neck, but the bullet lands in the wall. John gets up. He's the one who got shot, by the way. Goes back to the bar and tells the bartender to get him another beer, get the guys on the floor, an ambulance. So, a little bit of a funny story, and there's no death. So what gives? What's haunting the place is the bullet hole is allegedly still here. They are renovating the place as we speak. You guys can see the paper on the windows. So I'll have to go back and see if the bullet hole is still there. I bring this story up on purpose because people that sit in the front of the bar tend to get a little queasy, nauseous, headache, light symptoms. That's based on the paranormal activity that's inside of it. If anybody here feels any of those symptoms, I need to know immediately. That is a very big deal. I won't say that people haven't passed out from my tours, but I will say I haven't had an incident in over a year. So, it's not to scare you, but this is literally the scariest part of the tour. So, let's not talk about our own health and how we're going to get sick, right? So, big earthquake, 1886. That's why I ask if you guys have taken other tours, because we all talk about the big earthquake of 1886, because this is South Carolina. We don't get earthquakes. So it was actually a 7.8, I think they guessed on the Richter, because it is 1886, no such thing as a Richter scale yet. Anyway, this allegedly is where the first death occurred. A piece of the mantle that you see in the middle, the big white one, goes around the front as well. A piece of it broke off, struck somebody in the back of the head, apparently killed that person, and they say you could see his ghost in the middle of East Bay Street. Notice I said apparently and allegedly a lot. I don't have any proof of this story. It's a rumor and a grapevine and just a great segue so none of you are thinking about getting sick on my tour. So, are you guys all ready to go ghost hunting?
Let's do it.
All
Yeah.
right, we're going to go this way.
You're home.
Wow, you guys are quick walkers. This is going to go well.
We're New Yorkers.
I'm originally from Ohio, and I lived in downtown Cleveland for a while. So, again, that quick walk. And my wife is disabled, so whenever I'm not with her, like it's always like I gotta go, I gotta run, I gotta run. But she understands. Like I used to be a manager for retail, like large retailers, so it was a lot of shuffling all over the store all the time. So yeah, once upon a time I had a real job. So back to ghost hunting. So welcome to the Big Red Barn Lot. Obviously, this is a big red barn. This is where we keep your horses for your carriage rides. You guys can probably smell them. I can't. I'm out here 6 nights a week. I'm immune. Had my vaccine from the horse smell. But anyway, so the only history here, guys, is real simple, only because it gives me a chance to go through all of you and show you more tactics with your device, and then we're going to go learn a couple hundred years ago history. The history here is that this is the same barn that we had horses that delivered milk and eggs to the residents of Charleston. So this is kind of a level 1. You guys are going to know the answers and know what you're going to be listening for on your spirit boxes. We're going to go through in phases. This is the easy part. In the event somebody's here, we're going to talk about spirit boxes first in case you guys can tell, because everybody has at least one and one I improve. This is not, by the way, TV where you can say, is somebody here? Because if they answer no, somebody's here. Okay? I just want to point that out. So you're going to ask questions. We want details. You guys are all here, even if nothing else, for fun, but you want some actual proof that somebody's actually here that we can't see, right? So ask those details. If somebody's here, tell me what color the big red barn is. Obviously, you're going to be looking and listening for the color red. Keep in mind, 2 of these spirit boxes are using radio stations. A DJ's not always going to say the color red somewhere. It might be something specifically red, like a fire truck, blood, heart. These are all clues that would lead me to believe that somebody might actually be listening. If I had the color red, it's a little bit more definitive, but we can also get jersey numbers from Big John's teammates. For example, Evan hears the number 40, and the word art comes up on Finn's word list. Art Faircloth was number 40 on Big John's team. You see where I have to put those clues together? A lot of my stories tonight are going to be multiple people with the same name. Charles, Eliza, George. I need to know who the heck I'm talking to. So if I don't know that, I can't really move on with questions, right? In the event you don't get something along the lines of red, fire truck, blood, or heart, move on to something else. What's inside that one? Now we know that there's animals, horses, they're draft horses, that's their breed. Delivery, milk, and eggs. I'm always going to give you keywords. Delivery, milk, and eggs are obviously here. 1947, New York Giants, and Big John, and anything related to a bar is going to be related over there. Anything related to a horse is going to be relatable here. So again, this is about the clues, and you might not get a direct answer to your question. It might just be whatever they can find on your spirit box. As long as it's relatable to them, it's up to us to figure out if that's an actual message or not. So, with that said, spirit boxes, if you get close to the front of the barn with your noisy spirit boxes, so that would be Evan and Owen. Oh, that's going to be easy. So maybe that's why I did that. It was subliminal for myself. So Evan and Owen, if you guys get close up there, you don't want to get too loud. The horses do not like the white noise. Ryan, they also do not like lasers. So lasers also can set off car alarms. I'm just going to point it out, no pressure. You guys put the pressure on me, I'm giving it back to Ryan. So again, with vehicles, you want to point those lasers down, maybe 5 feet in front of you, no buildings, no cars. So I am going to work with Megan first, just to kind of show her a few pointers, and then I'm literally going to be bouncing around with everybody else one-on-one. We're only going to spend like 5 minutes here and move on to some much deeper history. Fair? Mm-hmm. All right. You have nothing going on your EMF yet, Katie?
No.
Nothing? Anything on yours, Michaela? Any numbers at all? All right. That's interesting. Sometimes it starts as soon as we get here. Sometimes it waits till we leave. Like, hey, wait, I got something to say. So you're basically going to be following the EMF meters. Wherever that activity and those numbers are going up, that's where the hot spots are going to be. And keep in mind, it won't always stay a hot spot. It's called ghost hunting for a reason. It's not like you're going to catch Bigfoot and he's going to say, okay, take my foot. You know, so we got to move around a little bit. So Megan, stick with me, and then everybody else spread out. We are going to stay in the confines of the lot. Okay. All right, so with your camera particularly, let's point you at this wall right here. Let it bleed out. So notice how it all turns mainly one color?
Yeah.
Leave it there. My hand is going to make the wall blue now.
Okay.
You want to try to keep somebody's skin temperature in view at all times.
Okay.
The reason why is because it obviously gives it an array of color.
Right.
So the more array of color we have, the easier it's going to be for me to spot those blue and black spots moving on their own.
Okay.
You might not catch something tonight, and this device is way cooler than most of the other stuff I have out here, but it is not an every night occurrence.
Right.
And I only spot check it. I'm only going to check like certain hot spots to kind of see what's going on. If you spot something, it's recording audio. Say something.
Okay.
So if it's like, oh, I don't know what that was. I don't know why that did that. Catch up with me in a minute or two, because I'm probably going to be with somebody else, unless I'm with you and I spot it with you.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, at least I'll have that audio marker to kind of go to.
Yeah. So
that way I can kind of see, and I'll kind of may even write things down, because there's other non-recordable devices here that I have to take notes for, so I may put something down.
So and I'm just looking for like cold spots, right? Like for it to be blue.
That's it.
All right.
Again, you're just going to be recording all night long. So after the next stop, well, during the next stop, first off, I will show you evidence of something I caught with your camera.
Okay.
And this is an upgraded camera, so it's going to be from the older version.
Yeah.
But after the next stop, I'll say, let's get this thing stopped. Let's go walk our next few blocks to get to the next location. And then I'll say, start it back up once we reach Lodge Alley.
Okay, cool.
So, you got it.
All right. Ooh, that's my hand. That is my hand. No. I'm actually trying to keep you in it for a second. Just stay there. Okay. Okay.
That is working.
Yeah, you want to try the red one? Oh, maybe. This is what I was talking about.
This is so cool. Ooh, wait.
Like to be fair.
What is, did you get that before?
No.
Oh, I'd
I
call
just
him
figured out
over.
how to use it.
Oh. That was weird. It was saying some stuff.
Oh, his one?
Yeah.
Where is Michaela? So let me show you more about your.
You picking up anything?
No.
You got that.
Ooh.
Well, you can put like glue that you're supposed to move around.
Yeah. But it's better to have someone in it. Do you hear that?
Okay. I don't know. Yeah.
It said like
I'm
5
going
stars.
through like birthday of Big John. I'm going through jersey numbers. I don't recognize a 5, but I'll definitely write that one down.
Yeah.
Let me forget the number 5. Yes, I took a picture.
3.
3, 6?
I heard 3.
Yeah, I heard 3.
3-5 again.
3, 5, 35.
There's like 3, 6 I heard.
So we have 3, 6, 5.
365. Oh my gosh, a baseball goes 365 degrees.
People.
No, this is so cool. I can't hear you, ghost.
Oh, it's A.
Yeah.
That's like it's a song.
So what are you looking for?
A cold spots. So basically, like, I'm looking for
Wait. I heard
7449.
7449.
But I'm looking for like little, like dark blue and like blackish spots to pop up.
So where it's colder than the rest.
Yeah.
So you need something. That's why you need something that's warm in there to show the contrast versus the cold.
Mhm.
And it shows you the coldest spot, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. That and then tree. Like right there at the corner. Was it the tree stump that you tripped on, or was it the electrical box?
No, it wasn't the electrical box. I know that it wasn't.
Just find it interesting. That's
Yeah.
all.
And this one, I got the double rights. It just all of a sudden in its teeth.
I've already
and it, like,
recorded. We've gotten
fell
spikes here, so I mean, he should literally be listening wherever that thing starts to spike. Lasers. How are you guys doing on that?
I'm not sure if we're doing it right.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
put it on this one.
I'll do that,
so-
but she doesn't. I don't know. She doesn't know.
So the more skilled the both of you are, the clearer the picture will be. At the next stop, after I show Megan some evidence on her camera, I show you guys evidence of what I'm looking for tomorrow morning. So that way you guys aren't like, what the hell did they give us lights for? You know, again, this is important work. It's just not an in the moment kind of thing, unless there's a video camera on it the whole time. These, like your lasers, are meant for a video, like be stationary, and a video just watches it. So that way when something passes through, you can obviously see it. With this, it's a little bit more patient, but I still catch the code. So it's a great tool as long as you give me hundreds of pictures to go through.
This is so fun.
Yes. So then, red versus green, and when you're using it.
Again, the red one, if we capture something in the grid, I can put it in that 3D software. So, yeah, exactly.
Which should I prefer?
It's easier to see the green through her camera. This one's not as bright, but again, even if you want to go side by side and she's taking pictures going this way, you can catch both ways. I can do both. Oh yeah, just don't cross the streams. So, aha, you got it. Thanks. I like it. I like it. All right.
That is a good reference.
That's nice.
I asked him his number and 40 came from there.
40%.
40%.
Oh, we also have the number 5.
I got like a number thing. It was like 749 or something. 74.
We also got 6 5s.
Yeah.
You guys are throwing all kinds of digits at me.
Yeah.
Pretty
That's
much.
5. You guys had 40. 40 is Art Faircloth's number for sure. And you guys, what was the other one? 749?
We had 7496.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of numbers.
So I'm wondering if 74 and 96 are numbers. Alright, let's go get some deeper history. What do y'all think? Alright, let's go this way. I like the number deal. Like, numbers don't lie.
Yeah, I got it.
Just let me know if you guys get come on over, okay? She'll flash you in the eye with the green and let you forget what you just heard.
Do you want me to stop it now?
Nope, keep
Okay.
it going. Keep it going.
Oh, what was that? It's got the Doja Cat song.
Oh, it says, will you stay?
It said,
Is that still here? I wonder if you know, if you can figure out his name.
Do you have any EMF going on, Kayla? What's your EMF doing right now? Is it doing anything?
Mike?
Yeah.
It went up to red right about there.
As soon as you heard where you said.
what did it say?
I got the chills.
That freaked me out. Right here. Hey, friend. I'm gonna get a spot right there. Wait.
I'm looking for like electrical poles, any kind of. We are getting close to the street where there are parking.
There's some dark over there.
Oh, yeah.
Right here.
Oh, yeah.
And then it went away.
Yeah, it did go away.
It went away. That's really.
It was.
There was a little bit of black, like right over here, and then it went away, and I can't find it again.
Was it like a figure?
You
You guys got a
no.
lot going on right here in this corner.
You saw it though, right?
Yeah, I did. It was over in that. Like,
It was
right about here,
it was
I
right
think.
back here, but
There it is.
there it is. It's probably the street then.
So
Yeah.
again, the pavement's going to hold different temperatures based on how the sun hit it today.
True.
So you're going to see that definitely with the next location because it has
Yeah.
gravel, cement, mud.
Mhm.
Like it's, yeah, you guys are going to get muddy. You are wet hands. Good job.
I'm trying to focus it on you. Hopefully.
Can you light it up right before we go?
It doesn't really have anything. That was
Will you
insane.
stay?
And then her thing went to red.
Yeah, I know. We should have a ghost hunting channel. Wait.
8? Did we get 8?
Did we? I don't think so.
No.
I think that's something else.
Probably.
I'm usually
Oh.
really honest as far as like when things are happening based on if this was light or if it was heavy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wait.
All I'm asking
Yeah.
That's
and I felt bad. There's nothing I can do about it because it goes on the table.
Oh, that went away.
it's like a right spot, like right over here. It's really weird. Oh.
Wow.
Yours is going to go crazy in here if it's already
Is it?
starting. So
Yeah.
no use in hanging out right near the entrance because we're going to need more than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. So welcome to another beautiful site of Charleston, everybody. So if you guys don't know where to park by the time you're done with me, you got issues I can't fix. I'm sorry. You came to the wrong guy. This place used to be something. Of course it was. This was the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion. So we met on Pinckney and East Bay Street. Pinckney is a very prominent name here. So who the heck were these people? Charles and Eliza had, well, let me stop real quick. This is level 2. This is not what color is George Washington's white horse for you spirit box folks, like what we did with the red barn. You will get the answers to your questions from your spirit boxes without me telling you until we leave, in case we miss stuff. Fair? Again, I'm not here to subliminally message anything. So, that's a lie, because I kind of already did that already with the red barn, right? So, anyway, Charles and Eliza had a son named Charles. They had a nephew named Charles. Signers of the Constitution were the nephew and the son. big deal for us. You guys are on vacation. Nobody wants to talk about politics, including me. We're going to move on to Eliza. She's way cooler anyway. Eliza married Charles at a young age. I'm not going to tell you what that age was. I will tell you that Charles was over double her age. So there's a big age gap in between them. I know, kind of creepy, right?
Yeah.
So,
Something fatter.
and it's not like 12 and 24, so don't go that young. So, that would be even kind of creepy. Did I say that out loud? I did. It's all on recording. Awesome. So glad we record everything. So anyway, but they got married at a young age because Eliza's father over in England thought he was dying and he wanted to see all of his kids one last time. Oh, this just got even cooler. You need to start recording, Dan.
Do you see? And
Seriously.
This is going up just sitting at red. Like all of a sudden it'll sit there and it'll peg out and it'll stay all the way up.
Just said something.
Like, your camera probably needs to be pointed that way. That light was like...
Oh, that one just
Oh!
inside.
I just saw that.
There.
I literally just saw that.
The lights all shut off and came back on.
Yeah, that was
so
really weird.
Alright, so as we're kind of looking through things anyway...
Should I go out this way with it or just go that like that?
Oh, there it goes again.
Once we separate, you can go a little bit further out. Because we are going to spend a good 10 minutes in here, if not 15, based on the amount of activity we're getting. I lost track of where I was.
Eliza, much
age.
under half the age.
Dad was dying.
Dad was
Right,
dying.
that's where I was. Dad over in England is dying, right? He wants to see all his kids one last time. Eliza doesn't believe he's dying, so she gets married instead. This is the 1740s. Kids, there's no such thing as citizenship. She didn't marry him for a green card. She married him out of love. So, it's crazy. Everybody's going frantic. It's nuts. Now they're going to be wondering what the hell we're doing, which is great. That's how business cards. A lot of inner monologue coming out tonight, guys.
Ward them off with me.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Shoot them all off. I know. Get away, we got lasers. So, 1740s, no citizenship. She married him out of love. That's where we're at. Dad, he got better, so she was right. So, again, now he starts sending gifts over from England. The layout of this land was the mansion was in the front. Eliza's garden was lined up with that left tree. You're only going to be able to see it through Dan's scope. And we're standing where the slave and servant quarters would have been. So, Dad starts sending over those gifts, and one of them happens to be the plant indigo, which makes blue dye that makes our blue jeans blue. And nobody has blue jeans on today. Wow, that doesn't happen often. Somebody usually has some kind of denim. But anyway, that's how we still use it today. So it's an interesting plant. She learns from her slaves how to keep it cultivated in our weird temperatures. It's not always hot and humid here. It does get cold in the winter. Once she figures this out, she moves it to Mount Pleasant, big plantation. Rice plantations are going downhill. She swoops right in with the indigo, calls Dad, not really, it's the 1740s, says, I need somewhere to sell this stuff. So she starts selling it internationally. We have a businesswoman in the middle of colonial times. This is absolutely unheard of. So again, very big deal. I'm giving you her history, but I am going to give you some funky questions to ask on your spirit boxes. There's a lot of weird facts about her, including the ages that she got married to her husband at whatever age he was. Eliza was the second wife, named Eliza from Charles. They both go by their maiden name. I know, lots of weird stuff with this family. The maiden name, that's the name they had before they got married. So they both start with the letter L. So it's Eliza L. Pinckney. That's what their name was. Find out what the maiden names are so we know who we're talking to. Obviously, you can ask what happened to the mansion. It's not here anymore. Then you can ask when that tragedy happened. I'll give you the clue that it was a tragedy. Anything about Eliza's death you want to ask, she's an open book. Eliza, how old were you when you died? Where did you die? What did you die from? And what U.S. president was a pallbearer at your funeral? So a president carried her to her grave. That's a big deal.
I don't know.
The children. One last bit before I send you guys off. If you're going to ask about the kids, tread lightly. She does not like to talk about one specific child. If you start poking that bear, it was a tragedy. All activity will stop, including Katie's EMF. I've seen it dozens of times. As soon as I see the EMFs that are stopped working, I know somebody poked the bear behind without me looking. It's kind of a, you guys just killed your whole night. Ooh. That doesn't sound good. But again, get some names, find out how many boys, how many girls, leave it alone. That's just kind of how this rolls with Eliza's kids. So I've seen it dozens of times. That's a lot of fire trucks, and we've seen the fire truck going that way too. Was that a fire truck or an ambulance?
That looked like a fire truck.
Was it a fire truck? You would know. You had the camera. So we are going to spread out in here. We probably want to stay somewhat in the light, unless we're going to all follow Dan and look at his 1.5-inch screen. So again, definitely a great place for lasers. Watch the one vehicle that's up here. Normally this lot's pretty full. But I will tell you, people going to the cars do not like their cars filmed or pictures taken out. So if somebody's going to the one vehicle, just go the other way. I don't like to be screamed at, and I don't like to run with 9 people. I'm the one left behind. So again, it's never fun. So let's spread out. I'm going to check you guys in on the websites that you guys bought your tickets from. Give me a few minutes, and I'll start bouncing on with all of you, taking notes. You've already been recording. Are you blinking on that light? Perfect. You're on it. All right, let's get the lasers up, spirit boxes going, ring pod going. Let's do this. Exactly.
I can ask questions.
What's that?
I'll ask questions.
Eliza, what's your maiden name?
Last time it's sincere.
Hi, Eliza. That was almost going to be his name. Fun fact.
True. That's
Yeah,
right.
true.
I wasn't sure whether he was going to be an Eliza.
Eliza, what is your maiden name?
Eliza, how old were you when you got married?
Eliza, how old were you? How this go? Eliza, how old were you when you got married? Or say October.
How many children did you have, Eliza? I love all that indigo dye. I think that's so cool. You did that. Such a tremendous, interesting business.
Okay. Like the music. Look, I have those.
Eliza, Owen here was born in England too. Lots of connections. Why is this not on? Oh shoot. What the heck am I
You're gonna
doing?
die?
Eliza, why did the man disappear?
Eliza, what happened to the mansion? Oh, just give her a second. How old were you when you got married?
$17? I think it said 17.
I heard 79.
I heard 17 before that.
17?
When did you get married? It said 17.
No.
I heard 79, so...
Was she 70 when she got married?
When she got died, when she died, you mean?
No.
So I want you to keep that number in the back of your head, though.
17. Okay.
All right, hold on to that one.
Just hang on to it. I'm not going to write it down yet. Because you think you heard 79, right?
Yeah.
And were you guys close by?
Yeah, I was right next to him, yeah.
Okay, so we'll be able to tell from the audio on your camera what it actually said.
Oh, okay, cool.
So,
Also, so are there such things as warm spots that can't be people? Or like, I don't know.
it depends.
Okay.
So this thing works off of the laws of thermodynamics.
Right.
I don't know how sciencey you are, but you're working with scientific equipment.
Yeah.
Did she have 5 kids?
No.
Dang it.
You like that number 5. Now, thermodynamics can also work in reverse. So again, you want to try to keep somebody. We have 9 people here. Choose somebody. I don't care if they're off in a distance. We just need somebody's skin tone. Between you and Dan, you're the only ones that can see out here.
Right.
For as dark as it is.
Right.
Now, I don't go out in the daytime, so I can also see. So.
Right.
But with that said, you can also see something heat up very quickly.
Right.
That's thermodynamics law number 2. You can't create temperature. It has
Right.
to balance. So if it's warm here, it's colder somewhere else in the world. It has to fluctuate. It's the same thing in smaller spaces.
Right.
So if you see something heat up really fast right here,
Right.
there's a cold spot being generated around you. Don't lose the hot spot.
Okay.
You want to keep it there. That's just as enough proof as finding a cold spot.
Right. Okay.
Just so you know
Got it.
what I'm looking for. I
Okay.
normally don't get into that
Yeah,
crazy
yeah,
science,
but that
you asked
makes
about wormholes.
yeah. So that makes sense. Lots of sense.
Did you notice your cold dot is also going to the sky a lot?
Right. Yeah, it is.
So you want to try to keep it a little bit lower, so that way the sky stays out of the cold spots. That
Right.
way we can pinpoint it a little bit.
Okay. Sounds good.
A little harder to do in this spot.
Yes. Alright, so I'm gonna try fall. Oh, and what? Oh.
Eliza, how old were you when?
Oh, person. Hey, girl. My name's Megan. All day.
We are on a holiday.
What's the second time we've been? She keeps doing the holiday thing, so maybe she knows that we're on like vacation.
Eliza, what happened to the mansion?
News.
Eliza, how did you die?
Eliza, how did you die?
Did you not hear her? She said she went and died.
Keep getting the chills. Oh yeah, look at that.
So mom just went, so Eliza, how did you die? And we just go, it goes, die.
It just said that to us. Eliza, how old were you when you passed away?
No, I don't think so. Oh.
Let me know when you do.
Eliza, what was your maiden name?
Oh, and you have to come back.
No, we gotta go to Ola where you get
Eliza, this might be a dumb question, but what's your favorite color? I think it's a purple.
Well, indigo is purple.
Oh, yeah. Rock and roll.
That was one thing I thought would be fun to do down here was the indigo dye.
Eliza, what genre of music is your favorite? You know I don't. So,
Eliza, what happened to the mansion?
oh, and you can't speak to her like a like she, you know, she's a person. Just talk to her like, so like, just don't keep gnawing her on the question.
Eliza, what happened to your mansion?
No, Owen, like, stop freaking.
Okay, I can do it myself.
Owen, no, here's what. I'm sorry.
It says natural.
He keeps going into the thing. He's like, when did you die? When did you die? I'm like, she's not gonna respond.
No, Eliza?
She likes to talk about that.
Is this Eliza? Is this Eliza L. the first wife? Eliza L. the second wife?
Are you one of the slaves? Are you one of the children?
asked a guy about the purple, and he said it's a pretty common thing.
I didn't. They're probably really cool. Eliza?
Also, he said her birthday was near a holiday, so that's why she might be saying holiday, and that's British for vacation.
I heard October when she said.
Oh.
Is her birthday around October?
No.
Or is there anything on October?
Yeah.
Because she said, this was a while back, because she started talking about something else, but it went October, like so clear.
You are not talking to Eliza, you were talking to one of the Charleses. So find out, see if you can get a number out of what his birthday or his death date is. They're both in October.
Okay.
Hi, Charles.
Charles, when is your birthday?
What day was it on?
Eliza.
No, it's not. It's Charles.
Sorry. Charles, when was your death day?
I need to keep you in this for all time.
Charles, when was your birthday?
It's
206? Maybe it's a 26? 206? October 26th? Alright, keep that in mind.
It goes, yeah.
Charles, is your birthday October 26th?
And what day did you die on? Do you feel like answering?
Charles, what was your death day? When? I'm gonna ask him.
This one's just peculiar because it's a perfect spiral in squares. The software wouldn't pick it up for me to be able to see the 3D software. This one, I would normally call this one just a bug swooping through, but there's an extra arm on it. So it went through another.
Charles, what day did you die?
Yep.
She's back. And so you're just confirming, Charles, your birthday was on October 26th?
So this actually happened up in that corner over there.
Uh-huh.
Let me rewind it because I like to show off. So this is the wall.
Yeah.
You're going to see two living people, don't get excited, walking past. You see the orange
Yeah.
heads? We're going to fast forward to find the dead people as soon as Facebook wants to operate. So we're going to find two dead people going the opposite way past the wall. Once it pans over, right about there.
Oh.
That's what you're looking for.
Okay, I see. Okay.
We didn't catch that in real time.
No.
My team caught me, like I said, Nick, we're seeing some shadows
Yeah.
happen up here.
Yeah.
I went up there to go debunk it.
Yeah.
Like maybe some lights from this fixture or whatever.
Right.
I caught this the next morning.
Wow.
So again, you never know until you start reviewing it.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Oh,
When was his birthday? October 26th?
And then we asked it again, and he goes, yeah.
Yeah, it went, yeah. Like
Stay away from those yes and no questions.
Oh,
yeah.
It's okay. We'll take it.
yeah.
So 26. Nice. Good job. Almost not easier than
we do that when so we just kind of work.
Hey guys, is that a ghost store?
Yes.
Dude, she's right over there.
Then you got it.
What?
Are you looking for Eliza? Yes, sir. Eliza's right over there. Right over there. We found her last week. Put it right up here. Eliza's
I was telling us to go shut.
What?
Did you hear the word up? No. Let me see the rest of your word list. Still nothing. That's the exact same spot that I just showed you.
Right, all the two people, and I did see one guy come out of there and walk, and I caught it on camera. So I don't know tomorrow if it does the same thing, like if it almost mimics it. But I don't know. I have to try to catch that.
I think this is very interesting that the lights keep going out.
Yeah, it's weird, but yeah. I'm not. Well, I don't have the thing. But oh, did you just see that? All of those lights just came on at the same time.
Which ones?
All of those, from there, that little red thing to that street light.
There, and that guy was like, Eliza was over there, so I went over there and the street light.
Have you asked her anything again lately? Let's ask her some
No, because I'm talking to the Charles.
Yeah, so basically Owen and I were like, a while back we asked her when her birthday or when her death day was, and it comes up as October. And so we were like, yeah.
So we asked, and it was like, oh no, you're speaking to Charles. So then we asked Charles, when was your birthday / death day? And he goes, 26. No,
It was like
260, but when we took away the zeros, so it was 26, and that was his death day.
Charles, how old were you when you got married to the second Eliza? There she is. She just came around the back.
What?
Charles, how many children did you and Eliza have together?
Yeah, go ahead and shut it down. Just hit that record button. I'm going to get you guys some answers.
Yeah, that is, but.
But again, it's not wrong, because I mean this corner up here is normally where I show off the footage from the thermal imaging camera. Where I actually have two shadow heads walking past the wall. So again, very interesting that he pointed out this way. I am very curious to get to Lodge Alley because it's normally lit up pretty well. So and with the power being out, I'm very curious to get in there with the new camera. So Dan, it's going to be all about you. So let's get you guys some answers. I will tell you the cool things that we've heard so far, which was pinpoint on October came up first, and I said find out when Charles's birthday was. It was in October. Get the number. He comes back and finds the number 26. Bingo. October 26th was Charles, the nephew. That was when his birthday was, and I believe his death date was October 29th. So October normally shows up twice here. That way I know which Charles I'm talking about. Trying to think what else did we get. We obviously had some major spikes on the EMF function of the millimeter, so it went all the way up to 28. So definitely past what yours goes up to. Obviously we've seen yours blinky all over the place. So again, Evan, these spirit boxes are not easy to listen to. So again, this is recording. We're going to go through it in the morning. Much easier to listen to when you have headphones on or whatever you're going to listen to it on, even in the car. I don't usually recommend that because it's white noise, but
Right.
put you right to sleep. Not to mention, if you're trying to write stuff down, it's just stuff you heard. So let's. Let me give you the answers. So the mansion, we'll start that. Actually burned down in the Great Fire of 1861. So that was up in that corner. Every tour guide is going to give you some kind of Great Fire of whatever year it happened in. This one in particular was huge. It started up by the Harris Teeter grocery store, about 3-4 blocks up, came down this way, and then went all the way to the other side of the coast. So again, the mansion just happened to be in the way. The only photos we have of the mansion are after the fire. So there are no pictures beforehand to show how gorgeous it was. Eliza's death. Here's where I asked you guys to keep track of 17. So Eliza died at the age of 70.
It said 70.
it said
I heard 79, but it could have been 70.
I thought it said 17.
So because his spirit box was close to the recording of the thermal, I will be listening in on that. Hopefully it picked it up where it actually did say 70, because he thought he heard 17. Again, two very mistakable numbers. She died of breast cancer, believe it or not, in 1793. There's no such thing as breast cancer in 1793.
We heard 79. So
I'm going to just point something out. I told you that your spirit boxes are slowed down. During the winter time, what color is the barn? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. All I need is the color red. I don't need the extra words before or after it. To say 79, you still have to say 70. So if it was 79, I would be a little bit more excited, and this is a little bit of a stretch, but I still have the fact that you thought you heard 17.
yeah.
So that's what I'm going off of. No offense, Megan. But,
Yeah.
But where was I? So she died of breast cancer. No such thing as breast cancer. We're going based off her medical records. So again.
Yep.
All right, cool. So did you guys? Sorry, this was supposed to be my darkened area, and what's weird is there was a tour at the end. I'm normally the only tour that comes through here. So again, I try to go for those more obscure places, not to run into those bigger, crazy groups that we're going to see here later on. But this, when we crossed that last crosswalk, guys, you stepped over into the original Charlestown walls. So Charleston used to be a walled city called Charlestown. This was one of the first streets we ever had. The interesting thing of why I bring you guys all down here is because when I'm listening to your spirit boxes, and I'm sorry I forgot to actually mention, I was so excited to get to a dark alley. I normally have you guys listen for names on your spirit boxes. Did you get any names that popped up?
Mackenzie was your name last time.
Okay, it's probably a no. I have a full list of people that used to live here. I normally get the names Benjamin and John. They were 2 out of 5 people that lived here in 1801. A few weeks ago, I got a third name, Jane. Jane, 1801. I don't find a coincidence that it happens often. And when I say often, that's like once a month, maybe once every 6 weeks. So you have to remember, I'm in the same spots over and over and over again. There's patterns that just kind of show up, and it's not from the same spirit boxes. This is also where the Freemasons had their Masonic Lodge. That's why it's called Lodge Alley. Yeah, so again, these are original clay bricks from late 1600s. This is a very interesting place. There's been evidence of fire here. They did do an archaeological dig here, unlike the Pinckney Mansion site. Found some of their tools, some of their silverware, so I get the silverware term all the time. Fork and spoon and that kind of thing. All kinds of things have happened out here. It's all based on an archaeological dig report to see what actually comes up when I'm listening to Evan's recording tomorrow morning. So, we are going to cut through the rest of this alley. Again, this was just a brief stop to kind of give you the layout of the land. We are going to be in a neighborhood, so spirit box is definitely off. Lasers are still out of the game because people are sleeping until we get to our next stop. We'll walk briskly just to get to that next stop. I will go based off of Michaela's word list to tell you to see what stories I need to tell next. Again, there's like 15 stories on that corner. If nothing pops up and I don't see any inspiration, I'll kind of go with my go-to that I normally go to, the 2 of them. And then after that, we're going to go investigate a female pirate over at the Powder Magazine. So again, that's a crazy story. Lots of weird holes in it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the spirit boxes will fill in some of those holes for us. So let's go learn some legends and more. I'm not pissed off at me.
Wait, what are the Freemasons?
The Illuminati.
Oh. Wait, I thought the Illuminati was fake.
Maybe different. Slightly different, but there's a lot of
It's like weird stuff.
yeah, well, it's very secretive.
Wait, why do people join them? Is it like a religion?
You know what, I think, Kim James' dad was on.
Really?
He was a Mason.
Wait,
What's a Mason?
Masonic temple, or like the Masonic lodge. My grandma went to live in the Masonic home when she was in
What is that?
What
What does that mean?
Masons. I don't know if it's the same thing as Freemasons. You can look it up on Google. I don't know. There's
Is
just
it-
a lot of secretive stuff about it.
Wait,
What do the Freemasons do?
It's like an Elks Lodge, or it's like a group of men that get together, but it's like they're very secretive about what they do. So I don't know if it's. I think they're supposed to do.
Wait, Megan, we have like Illuminati gold on. No, we're special.
Ooh. I wish you can go back on this thing. She probably can, but... Ooh. Dark spot. Suck it up, Buttercup.
It's obvious. That's like, right? It's
Right.
You guys have a C5 brand? Yeah.
Does it? Where it says it shows the hottest and the coldest spots in there. Was that going up?
On and you were it was like going on.
I can't see
The red one. Well, now you really can't.
Oh, because they keep on hitting that button.
And now I'm giving you a break. So we kind of have a seat, kind of show you guys what's going on in this corner. Where's our word list? How are we doing on that? Oh, we got Eliza's maiden name popped up out of nowhere.
Lucas?
Lucas.
Wow.
Basically, it could have a whole dictionary of words.
Generates words
No,
randomly?
Spirit picks a word out of that dictionary and plays it.
And keep in mind, guys, I want you to just put in perspective. We're literally only going half a mile from start to finish. So I do that on purpose. I was just explaining to Katie. So even though we're at Pinckney's, I could still get things from Big John's. We're at Lodge Alley. I could still get things at the Pinckney Mansion site. We're still only like 0.2 miles away from it. So again, I keep things in close proximity on purpose. Do I expect the name Lucas all the way up here? I don't. Is it coincidence? We'll see what other words pop up. So we'll see what happens. If we get the name George, which is a little bit more common than Eliza, right? So we'll see what happens. I can't guarantee, but I am excited about it. I will tell you that. You guys have been actually on top of this. Nice job. It's nice when I got a group that's engaged. Some of you guys are like SpongeBobs and you just stare at me. Did you guys notice the beautiful alley where all the other tours were sneaking down and aren't allowed to go? Cool. So I used to go down there, and I'm the guy that got caught with the new neighbor down at the end of the street with my noise boxes. You guys are on the annoying group, by the way. So you guys have the lights and the crazy boxes and all that stuff. Well, the new neighbor, he filed a complaint, so I don't go down there anymore. But I'm going to tell you the story anyway. I normally use the list, but nothing inspired it besides the Pinckneys. You already know everything I know about the Pinckneys, so let's move on to the alley. Behind you, if you take a look, there's a wall back there and a doorway right in the middle of the wall. There's a reason why that doorway's there. That alley is called Philadelphia Alley now. It's easy to remember for me because that's where Eliza's buried. Philadelphia, right? So it's called Philadelphia Alley because when dueling became illegal and stupid, we had to rename it after a city that helped us out of one of our many, many fires. That was called Dueler's Alley. That's where the duels used to occur for Charleston. So when there was a loser, meaning a dead guy, they would pick him up through the gate, over the courtyard, over to the cemetery, go celebrate the winner. That's why that doorway's there. It's easy access to the cemetery.
Wow.
So nobody tells you that on the other tours. I just found it a fun little nugget. I don't even know where I found it. I don't care. It's still fun to talk about. I call it the Death Gate. So let's talk about the one duel that we can actually prove that occurred down there. There was a doctor that moved down here from Rhode Island. His name is Joseph Brown Ladd. Lots of clues in this story, so when you're listening again, that's what you're listening for in your spirit boxes. Joseph Brown Ladd moved down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. The attorney handling all the money for her told her to send the doctor away, that he's just after her money. To prove that he's not, he moves to Charleston. He just got out of med school. He's dressed pretty well. The coachman sees this, that brought him into town, sets him up to be robbed and killed. Not a very good start to Charleston's name. Somebody walking by, his name is Ralph Isaacs. He's an attorney, local. Keep in mind, Ralph has the same initials of where the doctor came from. Rhode Island, Ralph Isaacs. R.I. has shown up here many a time for me. I just need to know who is referring to. Obviously, two different characters. But anyway, he says, let me take you to some friends of mine. You can rent a room. These guys will set you up. He takes him to 59 Church Street. We're on Church Street. This way. So he rents a room. And next thing you know, the two become friends. The doctor's making tons of money. His practice takes off. Amanda's moving down soon. He becomes known as the Whistling Doctor. Every haunted city has a whistler. Ours just happens to be a doctor. So, again, very cool story. But anyway, the two, because they're friends, they go see plays together. The doctor makes more money. He gets better seats at the plays. One night, they go see William III from Shakespeare. Don't ask me which theater. There would have been dozens around this corner at the time. But they start arguing about the new actress. The doctor loves the new actress. Ralph doesn't. He thought she was horrible. Then he starts insulting the doctor's fiancée, Amanda, back home. Not a very good argument to have. They obviously go their separate ways. Ralph is from here. He goes to the newspaper friends he has and says, I want to put an ad in the paper. So the ad says, what a disgrace the doctor is to the city of Charleston. So, yeah, the doctor sees the ad. He rebuttals with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. We're going to settle this. They come down. They take their 20 paces. They turn. The doctor pointed his gun in the air and he shot. He did not want to kill his friend, which is usually what happened during a duel. 75% of them didn't end in a dead guy coming through the gate. Ralph still has his one shot. He puts it in the kneecap. Sorry, I had to shoot you. He puts it in the kneecap of the doctor, so he didn't die either. His friends pick him up, bring him through the gate, and carry him home to 59 Church Street. He dies 10 days later, probably from bleeding out. He's a doctor that can't heal himself. It's the late 1700s. So, they say as you walk through the alley, you can hear the whistles from the doctor. When I used to take my groups down there, I warned them to keep their spirit boxes down. This is where we want to use the audio recorder. You want those faint whistles. If you're going to be here the next couple days, by the way, which is the most picturesque place we have in all of Charleston, in my opinion, day or night, listen for whistles. Keep in mind, every local knows the story. Down Cumberland, down Queen Street, they're going to throw a whistle down the alley. You have to be able to debunk what's a real whistle versus what's the faint whistling in the back that's not going to be, very loud. So again, turn on your voice recorders on your cell phones. It's the beauty of today's technology. What do you got? You got something? I think I need to tell the story of Annabelle Lee since we're
Grave and
we have the name Bell on there. So Unitarian Church, which we are probably 3 or 4 blocks away from, going further up the peninsula. That's the story of where Annabelle Lee actually occurred. So Edgar Allan Poe was stationed at Sullivan's Island. Yeah, he fell in love, and he was sent away on mission, and Dad did not approve of Edgar. And by the way, he went under the name Edgar Perry, so it wasn't even in any of his own memoirs. So he never wrote about it, except for Annabelle Lee. When he comes back, because Dad didn't approve, the daughter dies from whatever sickness. We all know the poem, right? Most of us. So he buries 2 headstones. He has 2 graves unmarked. So that way Edgar could never find her. So another tour guide friend of mine actually goes by that church, that's his end of town, and he has people pass out right in front of that gate all the time. My wife and I have been through there trying to find, see where all the stones are, but it's overgrown on purpose. They call it a garden cemetery. So again, it's very overgrown, and there's no rubbing allowed in Charleston. What that means is you can't take a piece of paper and rub over the headstone. It's illegal. You can go to jail for that. So again, why do I know all these fun facts? I'm the one who pisses off the neighbors, remember? So, And it's very interesting that you have My Bones and Bell together. That's why I was like, oh, maybe I haven't told that in a long time. So, again, there's like a lot of stories in this corner. To get your mind set up on pirates and we can go investigate across the street, everybody take a look down the road a little bit. You see the burning gas lamp?
Yeah.
That's the pirate house. It has a big anchor on the front of it. Somebody lives there. Don't look for ghosts in his backyard. He gets mad. Don't ask me how I know all these things, guys. But it is right next to the other half of the cemetery. So there's an eastern end of the cemetery and a western end. The eastern side is for native Charlestonians only. That side is for everybody else. That's where your 7th Vice President, John Calhoun, is buried. You can actually visit his sarcophagus during the daytime. This side, they're always renovating because it's much older. Not to mention, we have a lot of the Pinckney family over here, so it's very delicate stuff. But again, very interesting. But the pirate house, that's where they would actually meet up with a few ladies. That was where specifically Blackbeard's men would come off the ship. Blackbeard stayed behind to watch the ships. He's never set foot on our soil before. Nothing that I could find. His men would go here, have a place to sleep, meet with a few girls. They dug a tunnel from the pirate house 1 block away to Dock Street Theater. Dock Street Theater at the time, I'll make it brief, was a whorehouse, a playhouse, and a hotel. Obviously, for certain reasons, they would go there, but they also went there for the playhouse. Pirates tie really good knots based on their work on the ship. They would actually work backstage in between bartering with the locals, trying to make a few extra bucks. So that's one of the reasons why they chose that particular location. So, very interesting spot. Again, lots going on here. Now that your mind is set up on hi-ho, we're going to go across the street and look at the powder magazine, and then we're going to dive into this kick-ass female pirate. This one's a doozy. So we're definitely going to get, your battery's probably going to need change once we get over there, so I'll tell the story, then you and I will stop and change the battery so you can get a recording. Let's go learn about Ann Cormack.
I think I might have. Huh?
Yeah.
There was a green laser going at that up there, so that's why I thought you had your laser out by accident. But it was like going crazy up there.
Someone else,
It was like a line. Someone probably had like a little line. I was like, what the?
A single one. Alright, so we're all here? Yeah? Not missing anybody? Nobody went mad to go hear the bad singer? Cool. So, we're going to be looking at this building over here with the crosses on it. First off, I want to point out that those are not crosses. Those are what we call earthquake holes. If you're not familiar with this term, it's basically a turnbuckle. If we ever have another earthquake since 1886, which we haven't, the gist of it is you can turn those earthquake bolts, they're a turnbuckle, so it'll straighten the building back up. It's a great theory that doesn't work. So when you guys are walking around town, you see lion heads and pineapples and all kinds of crazy decor, and it looks like it's going through every floor of a building, those are earthquake bolts. They are functional, and you can turn them. The apartment building behind it also has them, but they're like peach squares. So again, they put them on everything. The ones you see on the powder magazine, those are the very first earthquake bolts we put in, because that's the oldest government building on the East Coast. They did everything they could to try to save it from another earthquake. So, let's talk. I told you guys about the Charlestown walls, right? When we crossed them. This is Cumberland. This is where the wall was. So it went up past the powder magazine about half a block and started going south towards the battery behind me. So the reason for it being tucked in the corner, it held gunpowder for 7 different wars, including the Civil War. It's 3 blocks away from the water. If it gets hit by a cannon from 3 blocks away, it's going to have a hard time going through 32-inch thick walls. Let's say it does and goes all the way through and the gunpowder blows up. Underneath those red shingles on the roof, there's sand from 1712 that's still there because sand doesn't disintegrate. But just behind that is that it'll blow the sand up in the air and then fall to put out the fire on the gunpowder. Another great theory that does not work. So the reason why we know that is because we had another powder magazine towards the battery. It did get hit by cannon, the sand went up, couldn't put out the fire, the building goes to the ground. So this one has never been attacked, but it is very interesting. It is a museum now, so if you guys ever need to get out of the heat, it's a quick 5-minute or $5 30-minute tour, just kind of cool you guys off. But anyway, I give you all of that history on this one building because in the middle of its construction is where our story begins. So it took a full decade to finish this building, 1703 to 1713. The story begins in 1708. This is where it gets interesting. A young lady moves here from Ireland. Her name is Ann Cormack. She moves here with her dad and his mistress. The mistress is her mom. guys with me so far? The 3 of them are running away from his wife. How mad was she that you have to get on a boat and go halfway across the world? So again, just interesting. So when they get here, obviously this is being constructed. Dad buys a farm up in the Georgetown area, about an hour north of here, probably 3 hours by carriage. And Mom dies pretty quickly. He starts sending his daughter, teenage daughter, downtown to start selling their crops. We're gonna fast forward past this building. So 1713, 1715, now pirates are coming through town. I'm gonna take a step backwards because back in Ireland, and rumor had it she actually killed one of her servants with a knife to the belly. Kind of giving you the mentality of this young lady. She's pretty hardcore. So when pirates are coming through town, she's pretty stoked. She's excited. She falls in love pretty quick. The guy she falls in love with is James Bonney. So Dad doesn't approve because he's a filthy pirate. Well, I'm not going to approve of my daughter running away with a filthy pirate. But she runs away to Jamaica. She gets married. Anne Cormac becomes Anne Bonny, your most famous female pirate of the Golden Age. So very interesting on that fact. When she gets down there, she realizes that her new husband is not the Captain Jack Sparrow guy that she wanted. This guy is a privateer, which basically makes him a coward. He's a spy for the British. This is not who she wanted. She falls in love again. We're on guy number 2. I'll keep tally. So guy number 2, I know, sorry, Mom. Guy number 2, his name is John Rackham, aka Calico Jack. This guy is the kick-ass Captain Jack Sparrow guy that she wanted. They call him Calico Jack because he wears the jackets of the men he kills. So he looks very dapper, and he has his own ship, and Anne wants to be part of it. But let's face it, females curse pirate ships. You can't have a girl on the crew. The deal he makes with her is you can dress like a guy to be part of the crew. You could be a female in my quarters. She's already used to cross-dressing because Dad used to hide her as a boy back in Ireland to keep her away from his wife. So she's like, whatever, I want to be a pirate, let's go. And so she gets on board, being a female in his quarters, being the captain, of course, she gets pregnant. Cannot have a pregnant pirate guy on the crew. So he drops her off in Cuba. Go have the baby, come back, we'll figure it out later. So when she comes back, there's no baby. No idea what happened to the kid. As far as her, she's dressed like a girl. She doesn't care anymore about hiding her gender. This makes Jack mad, and knowing Anne's mentality, she's going to make him even more mad. Calico Jack just captured another pirate crew that's down below deck. She's going to go flirt with these guys, guy number 3. So what happens there is the guy that she's flirting with reveals his gender to be a female, pretending to be a guy to be part of the pirate crew that Calico Jack just captured. I know, I told you this guy was messy, right? So she convinces this young lady, whose name was Mary Read, to become part of the crew. The British find out where they are. They send their entire fleet to come capture the ship. It's one of the last few pirate ships that they want. It's Anne and Mary, the only 2 above deck, trying to fight back. The other pirates are down below deck, too drunk to come up. Now, of course, the ship's going to get captured. It's the whole British fleet. Let's just put it out there. As Calico Jack is getting arrested, Anne's last words to him were, "You should have fought like a man instead of going down like a dog." So the word dog shows up here quite a bit. So, the judge, let's go on to him. His name is Nicholas Laws. So when you guys hear or see my name, it's not me, it's the judge. He wants to see the 2 men that fought back by themselves. He tries to hang Jack and all of his other men, they're dead and gone. 2 men go in front of the judge, they reveal their gender. He doesn't care that they're female. He just doesn't care, they're still pirates to him. They say, "We plead our bellies," which is basically claiming that they're both pregnant. You cannot hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It is illegal. So they send them both back to jail. Dad is still here in Charleston with his Irish money. He bails her out, brings her back home. She remarries again. Guy number 4 has 4 kids, dies at the age of 84. I know, it's a lot of history. So,
No, I'm just exhausted.
this is a long one to end with, but there's a lot of doozies here. What happens to Mary Read? She's in a Jamaican jail. She dies from whatever pirates die from in a Jamaican jail in 1721, a year later. We don't know if their pregnancy claims were true, and we don't know exactly what she died from. We just know that she died in Jamaica. So, there's a lot of holes in this story. You guys can ask whatever you want to here. Cameras, if you want to exit the lot, go up the street to get views of the front of the powder magazine, even shine lasers in there, as long as you don't go above the powder magazine, because you'll be shining in somebody's living room. Take lots of pictures. We're going to change out Dan's battery. Ask whatever you want, but the only 2 things that I can prove that I did not give you in the story on purpose, the name of Calico Jack's ship and the name of Anne Bonny's parents. So those are the only 2 things that I can probably prove that obviously I didn't give you yet. Anything else you want to know? If she really fell in love with Mary Read, was she still married to James Bonny during this whole time? What happened to James Bonny? You can ask anything you want to. So, let's say spread out. I would say spirit boxes probably need to get close to the building. EMFs, this is normally a dead zone. If you get anything, I'll be stoked. It's not the Pinckney Mansion site, just so you know. All right, Dan, let's change out your battery. Let's spread out, everybody.
go down for the cover magazine. What's that? She lived here? I don't understand. If she lived here.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask the question myself. What is the connection? She was.
Area. That's where she sold them.
Oh yeah, maybe.
What did it say?
Man, what were your parents' names?
Do you know the name of the ship?
What was the name of Calico Jack's ship?
You guys want to go out and go around to the front like you said we could do? We'll see.
Okay, so located on Church Street, St. Philip's Episcopal Church.
Did you say we could come on to the front? Or am I missing? Am I making that up?
And what is your favorite color? Green's her favorite color.
Well,
I said green, I think. Yeah, I said green twice.
At night, you will occasionally hear the sound of a crying baby that has haunted Charleston for centuries.
Stay over here. Why he keeps on wandering?
You getting anything, Nichols?
no.
Well, maybe it'll show up in the when he sends us all the data. Data. You are? Oh,
Yeah, me too.
really? Oh.
What was the name of Captain Jack's ship? I'm trying to ask how to do that. And what is the name of Calico Jack's ship?
I just try to stay out of the other.
Between the news teams.
How you doing on yours?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really
I think I
getting
heard the name Philip, but I don't
anything,
think
but
it has anything to do with it.
You should have brought your own notebook, buddy. I'm running out of paper.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're about to say
oh no, I haven't really been getting anything, but I haven't also been looking at it too much.
And that's
So-
okay. We just need it recorded.
Yeah.
That way we can review it later.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Why here?
Why here?
What was the connection with her
The
here?
connection
like this?
here is that there's not many familiar things in Charleston during her time frame when she was here. This is one of the few things. Now, they do say you can see him on all of the place, or shadows and pops up. And the interesting thing is they used to do a paranormal investigation with old school technology in the front lawn. I don't know what they were charging, what they had, but that's what they did for an hour. So, again, I didn't even believe this story. Again, I used to go down here and then go down to another haunted spot, which was getting me along. That early alley, I gotta reroute. The more I keep coming up here, the interesting thing, I had to come up here the next night because they already filed their complaint. It was November 28th, 2020. The 300-year anniversary of Anne and Mary's trial, November 28th, 17. So I had the number 300 show up on my first night. So I was like, now I gotta keep coming back.
Yeah.
So again, it's either I get a ton here, or no. Right. You never know.
I get it.
So
Oh, yeah, we were trying to figure.
It's
Actually,
just
I
the
want to
time
ask that
frame.
question.
It's just something familiar. That's all it is. They're gonna go check out the front.
Find where to take pictures.
What was the name of Calico Jack's ship?
I'm trying to. What was the name of Calico Jack's ship?
Hey, Owen, with the words you told me, I'm wondering if there's a Philip Green somewhere.
Oh, maybe.
So I'm gonna have to do some research.
Yeah.
And dig. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm not Google. So
Yeah.
I'll deep dive and see what I can come up with. Because it might even be Philip Green that might be related to the doctor story. We're still across the street from here. So, and we got a word that's actually related to another story down on Queen Street, only half a block away.
Right.
So again, until I get another clue, I'm gonna dismiss it until I hear something else from
Yeah.
it. How many pictures do you think you got for me?
Oh my gosh. Wait, my finger is just.
The record is like 750.
Okay. I don't think I've got that many, but you never know.
Okay.
I mean, I've been trying.
It'll give me a count. What happens with the photos that doesn't get on my website, I upload them to your own folder on Facebook and give you the photos and your data. So that means download it, save them, but if there is anything in there, I definitely put that on. And it's like, oh, here's all 700 pictures, here's the 2 I found that are relevant. And that's usually what happens. Alright. Oh, you took over.
Yeah, I keep on hearing he wanted to take pictures. So I'm like, okay, you wanted to take pictures with his phone. So I stole it. I keep on really. Nothing that it like stops for a second, but it doesn't really. No, it's not. So. Yeah, I think that's right.
What's the name of your parents?
On the front? You guys want to try to go in front of it?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Look at that. I gave you them all. Now we know what they want to when. Every 5 minutes I look at one.
I think I have the best tool to send. You digging the tool?
It's so cool though.
A lot of readout right there.
What was the name of Calico Jack's ship? And what's your favorite color?
I got something.
Really?
No, Mom, you stay
Oh my
still.
God, they play Nicki Minaj. They play Nicki Minaj.
Stay still. Dad, come over. Or Owen. Do you see?
Ooh. Kind of. What? That? Oh yeah. Kind of.
But do you see it?
It's really cool. This little building right here. 1713.
I can't tell if it's darker or lighter though.
On the East Coast, is that what it is? It's funny to think there's something older on the West Coast.
I don't know what this is.
Let me stay where I am.
I think it's something warm.
Wonder if it's, could it be the gate?
Dan, what's the name
I
of
don't
your
think.
parents?
Come up. It's that, whatever that is.
Oh.
So it's not. But then it has something to equal it out.
Is it that cannon thing? The flame gun?
It might be the
I don't
cannon.
know. It could have picked up some more heat from the bag. I don't know.
Back and pick up from the
Wait, did Owen say Philip?
Yeah.
Is this St. Philip's Church?
I know.
I think he did say Philip Green. Is it what
Owen, did you say Philip? Is this called St. Philip's Church? I'll just tell him.
I heard it again. Like I just heard it.
Philip?
It was either Phil or Philip. But I think Philip was more common back then.
Writing it all out, believe it or not. Cool.
So we got Philip a little while ago.
Again?
This is St. Philip's Church. Like there's a sign right in front of it that says St. Philip's Church.
This is St. Philip's Church parking lot. That's St. Philip's steeple.
Oh.
I didn't put that together, so nice job.
Okay. I could have. I don't know. I just
I'm
thought
still
of it
liking
again.
Philip Green though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was that the favorite color you asked?
Yeah, I asked what's your favorite
Yeah.
color. It's like green.
Very
So
interesting.
Philip Green. That could be a name.
I like the name Philip Green. I don't know why that's ringing like
Yeah.
if Green is just a common last name from 1700s.
Right.
I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
It might be something actually on the Lodge Alley list. I have no idea. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be diving for it. So,
Yeah.
All right, let's gather everybody up. Have you heard anything, Katie? No? All right, let's get this party wrapped up. This would be a party.
Let's go.
As he flashes it at the guy with epilepsy. No. I don't use the lasers a lot on my end because I do have epilepsy. Yeah, so that's why I can't cross the streams. I can't see it. Like I have a hard time with it. So that's why I know it's blurry. Like when you were crossing them, I knew they were crossed because I could barely see it. I'm like, oh, look at him. Gotcha. Interesting. All right. So first question is, where was my skeptic? I normally have one. Knew it. It's always the jokester. Always the jokester. It's okay. But the point of this, guys, obviously you guys saw that this was not a scary thing. This is not TV. This is what normal paranormal investigating looks like. So when I'm out doing my own investigations, it's not at night. I go to museums just like y'all. The gear's just running, and the museums don't know what I'm doing. I just have everything running on a bag somewhere or a pocket, so that way I listen to all of it later. So again, when you guys are going through my work and all the stuff off the top of your data page, I was just explaining to Dan, the podcast is up there, my books, all that extra stuff that I do that actually got this going. Questions about the devices and the apps, they're all up there as well. So again, I get lots of phone calls in November for Christmas, moms. I'm just saying. And yes, that was a shameless plug because I do make a few bucks off the sales of those. I don't make them, but again, when I have the shop, I already have a tech hired. He's going to be picking apart some of these devices to see how they work so we can make them better. And again, that's just the way this is going to go. When you guys come back to Charleston, hopefully in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you'll have a Stories in a Cemetery shop and you'll have a line out the door trying to get in there.
Will it look like the Pink Me Mansion?
Fingers crossed. Depends on your tip tonight. No, I'm kidding. The other building I'm actually looking at is that brick building right behind you. That's the Bocce. That's the old Bocce restaurant. Apparently the doors and windows don't like to stay shut in there, and mirrors will fall off the walls and not break. So, yeah, there's a lot of portal stuff going on in there that if the shop was downstairs, I can rent out the upstairs as a haunted hotel for $500 a night. Yeah, I'm going to be a millionaire in no time. I know it. So, and then I'll build a Pinckney Mansion later. So that's how that's going to roll. I am going to collect the devices. You guys can ask me a million questions. I'm going to shut your audio off first, so that way it kind of gives you a gist of how much data you're going to have tomorrow. Let's see here. So an hour and 52 minutes, you're going to have about 8 hours worth of data. Not to mention all of the links to articles and different blog posts that I find to prove the evidence that's going to come through. So you got to have about 5 to 6 hours of reading on top of the 8 hours of listening and watching. So again, now you can see why my tickets are more expensive. So I'm giving it all back to you. All right, let's start going down the road. Did you get any work recently? Work hard. Yes, it's very hard to go through this. Whisper. Again, I'm kind of, I'll be honest, I'm kind of disappointed with this one tonight. It usually gives me a lot, so the fact that it didn't.
I like the parasite. It would be good to have a choice.
Let's see. You can go in there.
Yeah.
Got some pretty good spikes throughout the night.
Love it.
So that was
It'd be
always
great
fun.
if we could get them in that.
It goes with Christmas pack.
Territory tours.
Thank you.
I'll take yours too. Sure. Can't wait to go through
Put
this
a couple of juxtapose a couple of things in the background. I don't know.
I had a customer, I'm going to hang on to yours last, that has a special pocket. Customer last week, and I hate to call you guys customers,